Hi there, compassionate and heart-centered leaders. Can you guess what the most watched episode was on my channel in December? The episode called 3 Signs of a Toxic Workplace. The first episode of 2021 is dedicated to giving you 3 steps from my signature system to allow you to leave the environments that are no longer serving you, relaunch your career, and claim the life you deserve. Before we start, have you subscribed yet? Your subscription not only ensures that you get each new episode, but it also spreads the message to other compassionate leaders. Each subscription makes the YouTube algorithm happy, which means more people have the opportunity to discover my message and my channel. So, if you would like to spread the message further, please hit that bell button. I'm Maria Neizvestnaya, founder of EXECUTIVECRAFT, and welcome to my channel, a place for heart-centered leaders. As leadership and executive coach, I'm passionate about emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and transformational leadership training. My clients gain confidence, increase influence, and become fully empowered. Are you ready to elevate your leadership? Let's say you are overworked, underpaid, and not treated well. You are dissatisfied with your current job. The toxic environment impacts your self-regard, and your work-life balance has become an oxymoron. Now what? Here are the steps to transition into a new career or even your own business. These steps happen in 2 phases. Phase 1. Take time off. It's difficult to see things clearly when you are constantly on call. The only breaks that you take are your weekends, but they are barely long enough to re-energize and be ready for the next week. On top of that, a lot of heart-centered leaders don't take breaks at all, spending weekends working on worrying about work. This vicious cycle is expressed as chronic anxiety. You need to leave the aquarium to realize whether or not you actually like swimming there, what the water is like, and whether you are actually flourishing. You wouldn't realize how dysfunctional it is until you are no longer in it. When you are inside the toxic culture, you become a part of it, losing connection with your own values. It then becomes increasingly difficult to return to your authentic self. That is why I often hear my clients say, "I don't know who I am anymore." Clarity comes when they take time off, slow down, and go back to normal human functioning. Only then will they come up with creative ideas in how to resolve their current dilemma. Looking back over months or maybe even years, they ask, "Who was that person? Why didn't I leave earlier?" Think about the time off as My Life Retreat. Prepare for your My Life Retreat by reserving 3-5 days of doing nothing but sleeping, eating, and goofing around. Take the pressure off. Introverts, go into hermit mode. Let people know you are unavailable and do what you need to do to restore your energy. In my recent episode called Leading in Uncertain Times, I talked about the lazy day practice. In this case, it's important to practice several lazy days in a row. You've been depriving yourself of sleep, of healthy diet, and lazy time. Now you get to catch up. Intentionally slow down. Ditch your to-do list. It's not going anywhere, you can pick it up right where you left off. Next, bring pleasure back into your life instead of pressure. Plan intentionally to reconnect with your body, not just your mind. If you neglect the part of you that needs fun, relaxation, and me time, it will rebel. Don't repress it, work with it. Create a working relationship with that part of yourself, based on listening, respect, win-win negotiations, and satisfaction. The more you give yourself, the more you'll be able to give others. Finally, The second part of your time off will be dedicated to setting intention, contemplating your future, and making plans to make it come to fruition. How do you know when it's time to shift to the second part? Once rested, you will notice a drive, an internal impulse to move forward. Also, many new ideas will arise. I call this process downloading. Many of my clients recharge through travel. While this is very limited during this pandemic, you can still create a retreat if you are creative. For example, going for a walk, driving, or having a mindfulness practice. What's challenging for most heart-centered leaders isn't what to do with the time off, but actually getting the time off. Notice where your mind leads when you start to entertain taking 10 to 14 days off. I can't afford it, now is not the best time, I'll do it next year, etc., etc. Remember, this is just a narrative. Treat the time for yourself as a priority, like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Let's talk. At any point of your life, have you found taking time off with the intention to slow down and plan your life helpful? Post in the comments below. After you reconnect with yourself, you are on to phase 2. You will come out of My Life Retreat with 3 possible outcomes. Number 1, you will realize that you are ready to move out of your toxic workplace. Second option, you will realize that while you are in a toxic environment, you are being ambivalent about whether you should stay or go. And this is the most challenging place to be. Third possible outcome, you will feel refreshed and re-energized and will realize that the challenges that you face were not systemic issues. You are ready to go back to work and your zest and motivation are back. Here is how to handle all these 3 options. If you are ready to move out, it's clear that you need to move on and leave your toxic workplace behind. You'll need a clear strategy on how to do that so you wouldn't end up in another toxic workplace. In the next episode, I'll talk about specific mistakes that heart-centered leaders make when searching for a new job and how to avoid them. Stay tuned! In the meantime, create a list of all that needs to be in place for you to have a fulfilling and meaningful job. If you are at outcome number 2, you know that you are in a toxic workplace but don't want to leave. You may be caught in one of the several mindset traps. First, you may think that you can't leave because there will be no one to replace you, the work that you are doing is vital, there are people who depend on you, etc., etc. People probably do depend on you, and you are probably doing an important job. However, being unable to replace you and falling apart if you were to leave are inaccurate. A lot of heart-centered leaders realize this when they have a health emergency and can't perform their job for a long period of time. Their organization moves on, life goes on. As you can see, this is just a mindset trap that holds you back. Second mindset trap is thinking that this is the best deal that you can get. It's extremely difficult to find a job, and if you leave, you'll never find a new job. Or you will end up in a worse work environment. It's very natural for that part of the brain that holds on to the familiar, prevents change by all means, and keeps us safe. Very often, the same mindset trap prevents heart-centered leaders from having fulfilling personal relationships. They stay in toxic relationships because they think they will never find someone else. Finally, you might doubt yourself and think that things aren't that bad. It usually takes another round of suffering or several rounds to realize that things are indeed as bad as you thought. If you recognize any of these traps, the first order of business is to become aware of these unhelpful thoughts. Second, if you are positive that you want to give it another shot and give your workplace another chance, come up with a timeline for a short trial period with clear criteria of what needs to change. Then, attempt to negotiate, advocate for yourself, and see what happens. Don't let things slide into the abyss again. Promise yourself to re-evaluate the situation in a month and then make a decision. If you return and things are indeed consistently better, great news! Make sure to create a routine that will prevent you from emotional and physical exhaustion that brings you to the brink of quitting your job. So here are your 2 phases with the steps on how to transition from a toxic workplace to your dream job. To learn more about the qualities needed to succeed as a heart-centered leader, sign up for my free 1-hour training How to Succeed as an Overgiver Without Becoming Resentful or Losing the Passion for Your Work. Go to EXECUTIVECRAFT.com and join the webinar. If you are in a leadership position and ready for a powerful launch of the new you in 2021, I invite you to connect and book a free 101 discovery call with me. Let's talk about the specifics of your situation and figure out what are the next steps that you can take to get closer to your vision and goals. To apply for the call, click on the link in the description or go to executivecraft.com/apply and choose the time in my schedule that works for you. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and share it with other heart-centered leaders. Hit this bell button if you have not subscribed already. Take good care of yourself and stay safe. We will talk soon. Bye bye.